Just outside Charleston in the Isle of Palms is one of the most celebrated golf courses in the area, and that is Wild Dunes. Designed by Tom Fazio in 1979, there are actually two courses here, the Harbor Course and the Links Course. Today, I played the Links Course, which features narrow fairways, tucked greens, forced carries, good bunkering, excellent green shapes, with an amazing 3-hole finish to end your round. Even though this is called the Links Course, it's really in name only. The only aspect that makes it a Links Course is the wind, and boy was it ripping on this day. Gusts around 30 miles an hour is the norm around here, which alongside 50-degree weather made this round a rather difficult course to navigate. The wind was fierce, my friends, as I stepped onto the first tee. Massive crosswinds coming from the right. The wind took my ball all the way to the 9th hole. Compounding on that mistake, it was car path only. And I grabbed the wrong club. That's a 4-iron. Need to get some loft over that tree, and I barely got over it. Back into play. Just to give you an example of how strong this wind is, this is probably even windier than my time at Bandon. Hat comes flying off. The ball goes 30 yards left. Probably should have tried to hit a lower trajectory. Instead, I am short-sided in a greenside bunker. I want to land this on the rough. Instead, I flew it around pin high. Had a lot of zip on it. Came to a stop around 6 feet from the pin, putting for par.
Turn left, right? Yeah.
Not a bad read, tap in for par. Move to the 2nd hole. The wind is into the face. I have driver in hand. Great contact. Headed right down the middle of the fairway. Not having played it before, I did not realize that the fairway would run out, and I am in the rough as a gap wedge from 84 yards. Good contact, pushed out just a tad to the right.
All right, go. All good.
This course was in fantastic condition at a time when South Carolina was rocked by rainstorms. The greens were pure, and this putt was on a great line. We're going to have to take a look at that on replay. Look at how close this came in for going in. That's a tough break, but we'll have 16 more opportunities for birdies. Move to the 3rd hole. Wind is still in the face. Good strike. But at 400 yards, this hole would play much longer. I'm in the fairway, but I have 187 yards. I think it's probably playing 220, so I got a 3-wood, and I topped it.
We're rubbing off on you.
Stayed in.
There you go.
Just gonna have a very difficult approach.
Difficult indeed. I can't go at the pin with the tree blocking my way. I have to keep it low and run it up. Not only did I keep it low, I got a great bounce to the right. It would roll just off the green, but I am still putting here on a good line, but I hammered it right past the pin. It is amazing how the wind can pick up ball speed even when you're putting. Leaves me without a 5-footer for bogey.
No. That was my line, too. I actually hit.
So I got the line wrong, and we'll tap in for double bogey. The 4th hole, I got a 7-iron here. The wind is cross from right to left.
Look at that. Now the wind's going to push it.
Yeah.
I wanted to aim right at the pin, but I was too chicken shit because of that bunker. This was probably the safe miss anyway. I have a lot of green to work with. That was pretty good contact with the chip. I just didn't hit it hard enough. Came up well short of the pin. So I have about 20 feet for par. Pretty much dead straight.
In there, in there.
And I buried it for par.
If that didn't hit the pin, that would have been another 10 feet past.
The 5th hole is a short par 5 with an elevated green. Driver in hand.
I didn't feel good, but it is good.
The contact wasn't great. It was a little high toey. But I'm in the fairway. I'm just laying up here with a 5-iron. Not aiming for the pin, just trying to get a good yardage in for my approach on the 3rd shot. That's exactly what I did. Crept into the rough, but the rough really isn't a problem. That is a sand wedge from 87 yards. Clipped it a little thin. I would have loved that shot trajectory on the 1st hole, but with no spin on the ball, it rolled to the back of the green. I got about 20 feet for birdie. We get it pretty close. That'll be a nice tap in for par. We'll move to the 6th hole. One of the harder tee shots on the course. Felt very narrow from the tee box. With a helping breeze, I am hitting a 9-iron here instead of an 8-iron. That was absolutely great contact. At first I thought I was flag hunting, but the wind pushed it 20 yards right into a greenside bunker. Like the bunker shot on the first, it splashed out really nicely, leaving me with about 6 feet for par. And just keep your eye on the contact I made with this putt.
They go in.
Oh,
I caught that.
I saw that.
Oh my God.
I do not know how that ball went in. That calls for another replay. I mean, hit the top of the ball, somehow found the bottom of the cup. The 7th hole is a short par 4 with a helping breeze. I'm going with the 3-wood here instead of the driver. It sure as hell did. I'm glad I didn't hit driver. It would have gone into the woods. With the breeze coming from the right, I'm aiming well right of the pin, and I double crossed it. I found myself underneath a tree hitting off of mulch, which is never easy. You have to clip the ball first, and I just went straight under it. So I will still have a wedge in hand. Clipped it so nice.
Oh, it had too much.
I just had a little bit too much Tor sauce on that ball. And then out of nowhere, the wind picked up like 15 miles an hour. I probably should have stepped off and waited for the wind to calm down. Pretty sure if I did, that ball would have rolled in. The 8th hole is a beautiful par 3. I'm hitting back into wind, so I have a 4-iron.
Wind's trying to take it right.
That was good contact on pin high just off the green. Well, that wasn't the plan to skull it into the pin, but not a terrible result. I got about an 8-footer for par. The putts are rolling pure. I just had the wrong line and would tap in for bogey. We'll move to the beautiful 9th hole. Probably my favorite hole in the front 9. The fairway is really narrow and the approach shot is even narrower with water guarding the left side of the green. The hole played a little easier on this day with the wind at our backs.
That'll work.
I did not know it at the time, but being on the right side of the fairway leaves you with a great angle towards the flag. That is a 9-iron.
Sit down.
Probably should have hit pitching wedge, but I'm on the green, so no harm, no foul. And I am putting into the wind, which is a lot easier than putting with the wind. Pretty good distance control on that putt. We would tap in for the par. And after 9 holes, if you told me I would be 6 over in these windy conditions, I would gladly accept it. This is probably the best all-around ball striking I've had on my channel. There's no chunky in my irons, no balloony fades with my driver, just really solid overall play. Looking deeper into the numbers, and really the one thing I need to work on is finding the greens. It's not that I'm hitting them poorly, the wind has just been redirecting them, but I've done a pretty good job of getting up and down. The wind continues to be relentless, so let's see if I can continue to keep the ball in play. The 10th hole may just be the most lengthiest hole on the course with its rolling fairway and steep incline. Because it's a short hole at 300 yards, I'm looking to avoid all those mounds and get it to the top ledge. I did, but I should have been aiming over the fairway bunker. It was a good tee shot. I hit it right where I was aiming and flew the fairway. Lucky it didn't get any further past this point, or I would have had to hit from a sand dune. With the sun glaring down on me, I was a little worried I didn't hit it hard enough.
Sounded good. Alright.
It turned out to be the perfect distance. It leaves me with a great chance for birdie.
Yes, there we go.
And I start off the back 9 in great fashion. Move to 11th where the wind started to pick up a little harder, as if it wasn't already. Unfortunately, that was not the wind's fault on that errant drive. I blocked it out to the right. So I found my ball right here. Gonna have to pitch out.
Oh boy. I got that out. Holy shit. Alright. Let's fucking go.
I don't know how I got that out or the fact that I found it in the first place, but that was a great out. Back in the middle of the fairway. That is a 6-iron from 146 yards. And I should have hit the 5-iron. That was a mental mistake with the wind hitting a little bit harder in the face and the slight elevation. It was always the 5-iron. But that was a nice lag putt. I got 3 feet for bogey. Nice catch hole.
Caught the left edge.
The 12th is a short downhill par 3 with the wind now at my back. I'm hitting a pitching wedge. It's a pretty good strike. Caught it a little thin as usual.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Even though I am a little short, I'm putting below the hole. About a 15-footer for birdie. Ball breaking towards the right, but I did not see that much break. Tap in for par. The 13th is the number 2 handicap on the course. It's a long par 4, but playing shorter with the wind helping. I did not like that strike, but it did not turn over as much as I thought it would.
Oh, it popped back in. Yeah, it's right.
I found the left side rough. Pin is in the front right, which is beneficial for me, as most of the green is obstructed by the trees on the left. Ball is sitting up nicely. Great contact. Pulled it slightly left. But I'm on the dance floor. I could tell that this was going to be a slick putt, and right away I knew I hit it a little too hard. But I nestled up nice and cozy, tapping in for par. Ish. That has happened too many times during this trip where I have a cleanup for par and I missed a short putt. The 14th brings us back to where the first tee is. It runs parallel to it. But unlike my drive on the first where the wind took it like 50 yards left, this tee shot was damn near perfect. Unfortunately, with the wind in the face, the ball is going absolutely nowhere. I think I hit that like 200 yards, so I have a 4-iron here. Nice little pause at the top of my backswing.
So high up in the air. That probably went 150 yards.
2 really good shots on this 480-yard par 5, and I still have 110 yards in as a 9-iron. And again, a great strike, but I'm hitting it so high up in the air. And like Dikembe Mutombo, I am constantly getting rejected by the wind. That is not a great pitch shot from where I was. I needed to land on the front of the green. Instead, I am in the back of it. I will say, though, that the lag putts have been pretty spot on for the most part during my trip. It's just the short putts that have given me some issues. Don't want to blame it on the putter for said issues, but let's just say after this golf trip, the putter will be donated to Goodwill.
Not good.
I think you're... Sorry, man.
Did I hit that near him?
You were close. I didn't see
even
him.
see them.
I didn't see him. I thought they were out.
So that tee shot was an absolute piss missile down the fairway at 275 yards. With this wind howling, 2 people in the group in front of us just appeared out of the marsh. I suppose that was my fault. There was a lot left to be desired on that approach shot. I am hitting underneath a tree, but I have a tight lie, and look at the cut spin I drew. I mean, that was one of the best chips I've hit so far in the series, but it means nothing if I don't make it in.
Hey, there we go.
We now head to what is pound for pound the best finishing 3 holes in South Carolina outside of Harbortown and Kiowa, but it is certainly up there. This par 3 is somewhat of a forced carry with bunkers on the left side of the green. And just past the pin is the Atlantic Ocean. Like the iron strike on 15, I skanked this one out to the right. Not my worst swing, however, especially on a day where this type of wind would inflate my score. The only thing it really did was inflate my ego. Again, a really good strike with this chip. I just didn't really have the feel for the landing spot. And I blew it about 9 feet past the hole, putting for par. Can we make another par save? I came close. This is ocean golf. This is cool. I like this hole.
And it's kind of low. It's the tee box is slow.
Yeah, I see that, yeah.
I was feeling a little uncomfortable above the ball. I should have backed off, but instead I striped it right down the middle once again. Final tee shot of the day, and I am pretty impressed with myself. That 130 yards in, that is a 9-iron. You can see the standing water that is on the fairway. Getting to this course was a nightmare because of the flooding that occurred in the past few weeks. And unfortunately, because of climate change, this course has had to change quite a bit over the years. And even with this change, the course was in the best shape of any of the courses that I visited. In fact, this course used to be a par 72. It is now a par 70 because the 18th hole is a par 3. It used to be a par 5, but due to coastal erosion from hurricanes, they had to shorten the 18th hole. Which actually I don't mind, because right now all I need is a par to break 80. It'll be back-to-back breaking 80s on the channel.
I told you.
I knew that was going to be a slippery putt for birdie. Now I have an uncomfortable 3-footer for par. And again I missed the short putt. And that's 2 missed short putts on 13 and 18 that prevented me from breaking 80 as I go 4 over 38 on the back for a final round of 80. No double bogeys on the back, which is remarkable. The script was flipped as I hit less fairways and hit more greens, and with 2 more putts than in the front 9, I was still 2 strokes better on the back, which just goes to show just how important it is to get the approach shots on the green. Next up on my trip, I head to Savannah, Georgia, where I play the club at Savannah Harbor, so keep your eyes peeled on that by following my channel, and I will see you on the first tee.